End up getting started like really soon. I see Atlas Group Consulting coming in. I see Katrina. I see a few other folks just coming in. We're going to get started any second now. Anthony, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm super excited. This was a long time coming and
Right?
it's evolved through the years. So I'm glad to really be here.
Do you remember that time that we were sitting in that Panera and just going through your contacts and just talking about CRM and business automation and just dreaming about a future where our businesses were going to be like super easy to run and we were finally going to be a business owner and not just a business operator?
Yeah, no, I remember very clearly because I have, and I could probably go get visuals for everybody, but um, business cards that were just, in piles.
All over the
And
place.
you
You
told me, hey, organize it. And I literally organized it with rubber bands, and I took a picture of it. And it
you
was on my
showed up.
living room floor.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
showed up to that Panera on Route 17 with a shoebox full, like it was an old Nike box or something from like the late 90s, I think, with just business cards and rubber bands and little labels and stuff. And now,
I did. I did. It was so awesome. So like all my referral partners, I was able to organize and my clients and a lot of things that I dreamt of that I was like, oh, I wonder if there's something that can do that. And then you're like, yeah, we can. So I was
right.
like,
So, and that's what brings us here today. And so let's kick off the presentation. I see Ray, I see Tom, Katrina, Nick. It's awesome. We're having, I just see people piling in. Just say hello, guys, as you come in. We want to know what you guys are about, and we really want to know what everybody wants to get out of this agenda, out of this time together. We're going to be here until 10:30. And so we really hope that we can get your undivided attention because we have a lot to cover and it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a lot of new information for folks. And so, Anthony, like, why don't you just give us a quick intro?
Yeah, sure. So welcome everybody. I'm so glad to be here this morning. I'm trying to brand myself as a mindfulness financial coach. And I say mindfulness because for me, credit is very important and staying in my lane as a credit coach, I want to merge and marry a mental health and positive attitude aspect. So that's where the mindful coach comes from. And throughout all these years, as I've been developing this, I wanted to work smarter and harder. Sometimes they say smarter, not harder. I wanted to work
Right.
smarter and harder.
Right.
And I had a big why. My kids, my family, being super engaged, being involved. And with this type of work, there's just a lot of busyness that comes with it, from sending out emails, following up with clients, and communicating, and it was just overwhelming. And I was a one-man army. I was doing everything. And so with Pete, when you brought this to my attention, what we can do, and with the potential of maximizing my time and being more efficient, I challenged you along the way, with everything. Can we do this? Can we do that? And you've always just had a yes mentality.
Oh, I love
And
that.
to see through the years, that my creative mind, you would allow me and encourage me and never tell me no, it really kind of gave me like a limitless opportunity in my mind. So I thank you for that.
Right.
And so I'm
Thank
really
you.
excited to have you here. Pete, I know everyone is in for a treat, and I'll pass it on to you.
Awesome, Anthony. Thank you so much for that amazing intro. And we're going to really make everybody's time worthwhile today. And so just going to go ahead and share my screen and just forgive me that I hope you take my messy desktop as hopefully a sign of genius and not just as a sign of mess. And so what we're talking about, and Anthony, this is what I loved about what you're saying is that business is hard, and the more you dive in and the more you start to make things happen for you, we're just like multiplying the complexity every time you dig in and you go over the top. It's like you put in 2 points of energy and then it takes another three, and then you put in three and then it takes another five. And so it's like you feel like you're constantly getting behind because every new client, every new prospect makes a lot of busy work, like you were just saying. And so that was something that really, yeah, I was really enthusiastic about solving that problem because as business owners, as small business owners especially, there's a knowledge gap between what we know about operations, a knowledge gap in marketing, a knowledge gap in technology. But with some of the tools out there and with just a little bit of information, we can close those knowledge gaps and make huge strides in our business. And that's what we're here talking about today. Right, Anthony? Do you think people want to hear about that kind of stuff? You muted
Yeah,
yourself.
I think they do.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about how to save 90% of our time while tripling our business and providing world-class customer service and not dropping the ball on any of those things. And so if that's what you guys are here for today, you're in the right place. We want to talk about a strategy, a long-term strategy, a change in mindset that is going to make you think about your business differently. It's not about just like some little change here or just some little change here. It's really about a change of a worldview about what your business is. And so I want us to think about one day firing ourselves from our business, being an owner, not an owner operator, because that's what we all are, right? It's our business, but it's our, we just own a job. It's our name on the door, but we're working 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Like you said, you're why you have a growing family to support, and things aren't getting easier. So we need to figure out how to multiply our efforts. And so my goal with everybody on this call is to have every people on this call understand what they think is necessary for scaling and growing their business versus what is actually necessary for scaling and growing my business. This was a huge, when I found this information early on in my entrepreneurial journey, it was like a meteor hitting the earth in terms of just, I thought that small business was just about just like go, 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 hustle culture, hustle culture, hustle culture. And it's not. It's about, like you said, working smarter and working, harder potentially, and just getting multiple efforts. And so if you stay guys till the end, I know we have some cool things to be sharing with you, some really great offers at the end. You're going to get a lot of great tactics of what we're doing. And Anthony, you have a great offer too that you want to share as well. And so what makes this presentation different and why I really need everybody here to just really invest in and put down what you're doing and just stay focused on what we're talking about here. And please put questions into the chat. Anybody can ask us any questions at any time. We're going to be talking about the mistakes that I've learned over 15 or more years of just trial and error and working with businesses of all sizes, and how big guys, successful guys, struggling guys, medium guys and gals, we reversed engineered the exact tactics, and that's what we're here talking to you guys about. So why listen to Pete? I've been working in the small business community for over 25 years now. We've done multiple year-over-year award-winning marketing campaigns through the NJ Ad Club and other local organizations well known in the Hudson County area. The clients that we're working with now are tripling and quadrupling their sales. It's crazy what really happens when you just tune these dials just right for your business. We have clients, Anthony, that are adding affiliates, people, clients of ours that have framed out their business so cleanly that they're able to now say, okay, you guys sell my stuff. And those guys are out selling their stuff successfully and at scale and checking in with little challenges here and there. But, we've empowered channel partners. And so not only getting our own house in order, but getting our own house in order so much that channel partners can come in and start selling for us. And so, we've done some things right over the years. People say, Pete, what was the common thread, that brought you from being a music major all the way through doing a software platform and business operations? And I would just say that this origins in music production, and I was doing jingles and advertising in the city. It's a creative process, and the creative process tells you that you're constantly refining. You refine because you're working on a piece of art. and it's like, hey, it's not quite right, let's keep tuning it. You're working on the, or you're not quite right, just tuning it. And that was a real interesting common thread that I noticed, whether I was working on a website or doing a social media, campaign, doing an email blast, was that this creative process is just, what I've carried through. But we've also done a ton of things wrong. Like Anthony, raise your hand if like, or people in the crowd. I would love to know what you think. What have we done wrong that, in terms of scaling our business, that we could just reflect on and say like, okay, I tried that and it didn't work. I'm not mad at myself, maybe, or maybe you are. Like, Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would probably say is like waiting for the phone to ring, is
Right.
never stop being proactive.
Right. Like waiting for the phone to ring is like you know, I, it was a heartfelt lesson when I don't know, maybe might have been my mother that said that people are not thinking about us as much as we think that they're thinking about us or hope that they're thinking about us, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we have to be out, out there. We have to be in front of people. Any other, mistakes that you can reflect on that you would do differently now? Or Alan, Atlas, Bibiana, Justin, we would love to hear from you guys. Anthony, what
Um,
else?
yeah, I guess younger in my career, I would do group text messages. So I
Right.
would bundle
Oh,
20 to like 30 people and I would remind them of an event or something. And it
oh,
just, you would
people
see
will hit
everything
that.
spam up. We're like, oh, don't text me. Who's this?
Or tagging everybody in a Facebook post early on when that was just becoming a thing. That was crazy. And so yeah.
I'm still guilty of that,
Right.
but I'm trying to work on my business, not so much work in my business. So it
Right.
doesn't say what I'm doing is right, but it could be wrong, and there's other more efficient ways of doing it with my time. But I hear it. Yeah.
All right, so let me share some of the thoughts that we were having. Is that it's not about how these are some things that we learned after doing this for a while. Is that it's not about how many leads you could just shuffle in to your systems, because sometimes we're sitting here, we don't even have enough leads meetings, and so we think, wow, if I just had more leads, I would be figuring this thing out. And I'm telling you guys, it's not just about sitting back and saying, I wish the phone was ringing more often. It doesn't stop there. We do want that, but that's not going to solve the problem. And then another thing I hear about is like, oh, well, I need some people say a better website, but oh, if I just had a landing page, or if I just had this, like, I guess I should really call bullet number two, like shiny object syndrome, where, oh, I heard about email blasting, let me try that. Or I heard about uh texting, like you just said, group texting, or social media, like shiny object syndrome, like one thing chasing one thing or another. Or a lot of people, if you guys are into sales, then what you have is, oh, Pete, I get people, they're almost ashamed. They say, oh, I have a CRM, but I just don't use it. I have a CRM, but I just don't put notes in it. And I say, like, those are not the things that are ailing small businesses. um what I discovered the hard way, I that's what I discovered, is that, after chasing these things, after chasing this and chasing that and chasing this, um, it wasn't working. Nothing was working. And so we're going to share with you guys today exactly what it is that we figured out. It was like, again, another just light bulb went off in our head a couple of years ago, that, hey, if we could just work on this one thing, um, things are going to get better for the business, for our business, as well as the businesses that we're working with. And so, so let me, so let me ask you guys something. So, have you guys hired a marketing company or consultants or salespeople to do things, right, Anthony? Like you've shared with me, oh, I'm working with this guy, and something maybe was effective for a minute, but it just kind of, it didn't lead to long-term growth, right? You played around with some
Right. Yeah.
software a little bit,
Bunch of
like,
times.
right? And
Bunch
so,
of
yeah, and then, like you just said earlier, working harder and working smarter, not harder. What I call that is working nonstop in your business and never working on your business. I always loved that phrase, is that all of us small business owners, are guilty of just in the business, hustling sales or closing deals or going to networking. We're working in the business and we're not working on the business. We're not sitting down, almost like I'm going to put something in your head, guys. If you've ever played with Legos or anything where you're building, like that's how I think of building small businesses, is almost like little pieces of a Lego set that you have to consciously like sit and say, okay, I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to do that and I want this to happen. And it's a very conscious business building process. And the hard way is that what ends up happening is that year after year, after just beating our heads against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again, we're like a goldfish in a fishbowl. And so we're just stuck, and we don't even necessarily notice that, hey, we're not growing. Like it's been 10 years. I haven't added a single employee or two. And that's what we've learned, actually, is that nearly 60% of all small businesses did not add even a single employee in 4 years. And so, you know, that's the lay of the land, is that we're working hard. We're putting in 60, like how many hours a week are you doing, Anthony?
Oh man, I think that I'm doing over 50 to like 60 hours easy. I don't
Easily,
count
right?
it
Right.
because
Because
I'm
it would be
working
too
at crazy hours.
it would be
It's
too
like
depressing to count it. Guys,
if
put
I'm
it
10 o'clock and I need to do something, I'm gonna work until 11:30. I can't sleep at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna wake up and do something. So my hours of operation are 24/7.
right. Guys, put into the chat if you can. Just how many hours a week are you guys working? I want to know, how many hours we're putting in.
Easy,
Yeah, and
easy,
so
easy.
for me, it's easily 60 hours or more sometimes. It's almost like we're always on, and we don't want to be that way, right? We don't want to be that way. Yeah, and there is a way. Tom, right? 60 hours, and then another 10 to 15 at home, exactly. And so think about this, guys. This is the vision that I want us all to adopt, and I really should put maybe some happy clouds or some a margarita on this slide, because think about a future where your projects are produced on time without your direct input. Imagine that, hey, you just show up to work and that was done, and that was done, and that was done, and it was done on spec according to your best practices that you set. um, that world is possible. Imagine a world in the future where lead flow is steady and predictable, where you could look at your spreadsheet and say, okay, wow, guys, next quarter is going to be great because we could see that we have a trend of 15 meetings per week, and we're closing 30% of those, and they're closing at this amount of money each on average, and therefore we're going to be fine. Instead of what most people are, I have no idea what the first quarter of 2023 is going to be like, right?
Yeah.
Can I afford to take that vacation? Can I afford to do this? And so think about a world where profits are rising regularly. Think about a world where you're happy and optimistic about the future.
You
Justin,
know,
thank you. You're a chef. Awesome. Put in what else they are. I see Tom, you're a financial advisor, but
hey Pete,
yeah,
I wanted to just add there, just talking about this, definitely I know Tom would appreciate as a financial advisor. Um, I think that knowing your laws of average, right? How many calls you have to make, how many prospects you can have to, really engage with, how many invoices or proposals you have to send out, to how
right,
many you can close on that.
right,
If we're just spinning our wheels, it could be 100 to 150 calls a day to 10 to 12 prospects to maybe close one or two. And if we don't know those numbers, then you're absolutely right. We if we close those numbers, I want to get 10 to 15 referrals and close 3 to 5, right? And just increase my profitability. And that's a very good point.
right. And so we can consciously put in the pieces of this vision day to day and take time to not respond to emails and build the individual items that we need to build. And so that's what let's go on. Like, let's talk about what we learned that's going to be the easy way, the way to short circuit this. And again, it's just a change in mindset. It's a change in how you think about your business. And so 90% of the time, triple business, world-class customer service without spending thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours on software consultants and trial and error. Why do I say 90%? I'll tell you guys why I say 90%, because a lot of us in this room provide, for example, custom quotes. And we had a client who said, Pete, it used to take me 90 minutes to make proposals for clients. Now it takes me 3 minutes. Like, imagine that. Imagine every quote that you make taking 90 minutes of your week. The week is not endless, right? You could only do 6 of those if you did them day and all day, every day, 6 each day, maybe in a typical work day. And so we got that down to 3 minutes. Imagine reclaiming time. Imagine reclaiming time from doing busy work all day long, moving data from Calendly to MailChimp, moving data into QuickBooks, doing things on paperwork, doing things on notepads. Imagine reclaiming that time and putting it into a webinar, putting it into seeking investors, putting it into planning marketing campaigns, put it into working with your VAs to, create good social media content, shoot good social media content. And um, so results are not typical and every business is different, but we're getting, all of our clients are moving into a better direction. And I'm going to show you guys some of those people right now. And so what are people wasting time on? They're chasing leads down manually over and over again, right? They're wasting time on failed marketing tactics. People are wasting time on hiring wrong people and just delegating stuff. People are wasting time on taking too long on quotes because it's, oh, I just want to put that away. It's too complicated. You procrastinate, fills up your mental space. You're wasting money on not following up with leads. How many of us are guilty of getting referrals and the email just gets tanked within 50 other emails within an hour and you don't even notice it? And so um time being wasted, money being wasted. And so these are 3 things that I really want us to leave this leave this webinar understanding that the right technology will multiply your efforts. That secret number 2 is getting real clarity on your target market, your value proposition, and your products and services really just makes things unbelievably frictionless. Clarity on your target market, value proposition, and products and services. If anybody needs a refresher on those phrases, just throw a question in the air. And this is my favorite one, which we're going to spend the most time on: customer journey mapping. That's our main secret. And so I'm going to cover 1 and 2 because they're important. But really what I want us to take away from this webinar is that we have to start mapping our customer journeys. And so let's cover 1 and 2 right now. And so technology. So the right technology will multiply your efforts. So businesses at scale have to multitask. Anthony, if you had 20 people under Fresh Start Advancement, different things would all be happening at different times, right?
Absolutely. Oh,
It's
yes,
like it's like almost like an orchestra and you're the conductor, right?
correct.
But do you currently feel now that you could conduct your business like a symphony orchestra? Like, or would it be maybe more, what would it be like? More like
I'm terrified of that part, and I know I have to do it, and so I'm at this point of it's like no turning back, and I can only keep it up for so long.
right, right. But if you were to try to conduct it wouldn't sound like a good symphony, right? It would maybe be a little bit
You
out of
know,
tune or a little bit.
without a process, no, or
Right.
without someone that can help me create and navigate my ideas and thoughts and like the things that I do into a process, yeah, no, I can just, give and go as the commands come, like an order taker,
Coordinator, a
as you say.
coach, right? Like, a
Mhm.
quarterback, right? So,
Yeah.
we're operating as the full team we need to start thinking about a coach or being more of a quarterback or being more of a conductor of a symphony orchestra or the leader of a band. And so with the right technology, you'll get 74% more efficiency, better access to data with a good CRM. You're going to get more efficiency if you have all of your contacts on the go and you're able to dial and keep in touch with people efficiently and know who to follow up with. And you're going to get 48%. We've seen companies report that improving their sales funnels is a top priority this year. And so of all of the things that they could focus on, nearly half of companies say that their sales funnels are the top priority, not their bookkeeping, not their accounting, not mergers and acquisitions and all that stuff, building better sales funnels. And so, but again, on the technology front, what we've seen is that, people have all sorts of these different softwares. They have software strung together for here. They have email over here, like, they have Wix website over there, and they have Calendly over here. And instead of those tools working in a cohesive sort of process, instead it just makes this kind of rat's nest of technology: your email, your calendar, your MailChimp, your billing, your project management, your phone system. Nothing is really integrated. I call them orphan softwares because they're not really talking to one another. So what I've really learned is that cobbled together software really makes a leaky bucket business. It's that, this is what I said earlier, is that no matter how many people you put into the top of your process, it's gonna fall apart. It's like, we built for Fresh Start Advancement and other small businesses, like as small business owners, we're a Ford engine, and we're trying to fly like a 747. It's just breaking down. We can't jam more people into our processes. I'll give you a quick example. I was recently connecting with a friend of mine who was a prolific networker all over BNIs, all over chambers. Pete, I need more leads. I need more leads. And after talking, she said, well, I'm meeting with people 6 times a day already, every day. And I said, well, that doesn't sound right. Like, where are we going to stick more meetings for you? If you already have 6 meetings a day, you're not going to take 3, 4, 5 more meetings at night. You have a family and whatnot. And what we learned is that, their focus was just on networking. And this networking process was more like a dead end. It was sort of, filling their calendar with one-to-ones instead of filling your calendar with leads that are going to flow into profit. And so that was an interesting example of, really focused in one area of, you think that you're doing a really good thing, but you're just filling your time and blocking other profitable activities from, coming in the door. And so a leaky bucket business is what leads to this business being in a fishbowl. And so number 2, clarity on target market, value proposition, and your products and services. So Anthony, when we planned this webinar, right, we really planned it down to the T. We picked a date. We came up with a good video. We came up with a good marketing strategy. We described the value proposition, right? We picked our target audience, and we really got messaging to people that was connecting with them. And so even this little product of yours, we really honed it down. We got the whole process of registration down, and it was a turnkey process, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, it was very, very turnkey.
And so for all of us, uh, if we can really take our products and services and really hone down, this is exactly who we're targeting, and this is their pain points, and that needs to inform the marketing messaging, and that can become a video, that can become this. And when you have that kind of clarity, you can build processes around it. If you define every single little minutia of your products and services. And so that's one thing that we've really got right. But this is the one thing that I just really want to talk about right now, which is the customer journey mapping, because this is where I think that things are really taking off for all of our clients. And this is the change in mindset that I've been describing all alone, is that for all of you guys, when this webinar is over, and there's a reason why we did this just before Thanksgiving, right, Anthony? We said, should we squeeze this in before Thanksgiving? And you were like, yeah, hell yeah, we should squeeze this in before Thanksgiving. You guys can be anywhere else. You guys could be buying a turkey. You could be at Newark Airport. flying, but you're here with us. And so we're going to give you some nuggets to think about over the Thanksgiving holiday. I want everybody on this call just so enthusiastic, like barely, able to be at Thanksgiving because our minds are just thinking about how it is that we're going to build more effective customer journeys, right, Anthony? We talked about that, right?
It's been on my mind longer than I'd like to have it.
And so this is our desk. And when we sit at our desks after this, when this webinar is over, just think about this next slide that I'm going to show you guys. So um, this is a typical customer journey for any service related business. Marketing leading to, like, you do some marketing, you go to BNI, you go to a chamber event, or you send out an email blast, and you want some sort of reaction. You want to drive people to some sort of action. You're driving them to what we call a marketing entry point. So examples of a marketing entry point, or a customer journey entry point, I should say, is maybe your calendar booker, or maybe your website, or maybe an inbound phone call or an inbound email, or an event registration or a landing page. That's 6 or 7 right there of marketing entry points, a place where somebody really joins your customer journey. They register for something, they express some sort of interest, and now it's your responsibility as the entrepreneur to frame out what that experience is going to be from that point on. We have control over these things. We can make a beautiful customer experience, or we can not think about it at all and have it be completely improvised. But if we can make a beautiful customer experience, we're distinguishing ourselves from our competition, and we're making ourselves just seem like $1 million, right? Like, think about that last time that you took a flight anywhere, right? Yeah, where was the last time you flew anywhere, Anthony?
The last time I flew somewhere, I think it was California.
Right. And like
Yeah.
American Airlines or Delta or something. And what happened? You had a good checkout experience, right? All of your
Ah,
like, you had upsells, right? They were upselling you with a car and with a hotel, right?
oh yeah. I mean, even I think it was United. You had to probably like get headphones from, and then you get the
All
tablet with the movies. I was getting
Yeah, and
upsold
so
everywhere.
their experience was like, you have this one product, and hey, would you like another product? Hey, would you like this related product? But then what happens? You got a text message confirming your flight. You got a check-in confirmation. You got a baggage claim confirmation where the bag, where your checked bags are going to be. You got a hope this flight was okay type of message, and that whole experience of buying that flight was guided from A to Z, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And so that's what all of us as small business owners, we can do the same thing. We do marketing. We drive people to one of those entry points. We make sure that that entry point is really, really solid and beautiful, and it's clear and has the value proposition that we were just talking about. And then when a person says, yes, I want to meet with you, I want to talk to you, we bring them into that discovery call with elegance, and we bring it in with clear messaging, and we're keeping that buying enthusiasm going. We're keeping in front of people, even in that time of booking time with you versus meeting with you. It could be 2, 3, 4, 7 days. That's a lot of time where you could be getting really solid messaging in there. And so after that, signing somebody, onboarding them, shaking hands and agreeing, that's a great opportunity for some welcome emails like, hey, thank you for becoming a part of the Fresh Start Advancement family. We're going to, this is going to be the next step. You need to fill out this form. You need to, set an appointment here. You need to download this thing here. Maybe you need to watch this video here to educate yourself more. And so as an entrepreneur, you have the ability to plan these things and plan really elegant experiences that are going to set you apart from the competition and guide your clients in just the best way possible that you can, all the way through delivering the client loyalty. And so what is the advantages? We're bringing clarity to staff and internal operations. We're allowing you to organize all of your tech because now you know exactly what needs to happen at every single step. because while the customer's experiencing the experience, your technology is holding it together and keeping it fluid, and you're on the outside observing that, hey, everything's moving at the right steps, everything's moving according to plan. They've gone from step A to B, they've gone from step B to C. um, this allows you to find holes in your processes. So, hey, we were working with a client, and I'm going to show you their customer journey map shortly. We were working with a client that Pete, every time that a customer leaves us a voicemail late at night, we call them back and then we leave a message, and then that's it. If they don't call us back, then it falls into a black hole. And he wasn't bragging about this. He was saying that this is a problem that he needs to solve. And so imagine mapping out your customer journey and recognizing that, well, shoot, I really dropped the ball right here, and I need to close that gap. And so mapping out our customer journeys really helps close that gap. And it allows you to define and improve the customer experience, like we were just doing. When somebody becomes a fresh start advancement client, if they're looking for credit repair, greet them with some sort of welcome email that is talking about credit repair, educating them, getting them kicked off on the process. If they're meeting that they need referrals to get a loan, get them a nice information about that. If maybe the client, it maybe some people are wasting too much time with unqualified leads. There's ways that you can get people into your funnel and then shoo them off to third-party referral agents and not have to talk to them, because maybe we're spending a lot more time than we need to. And so I want to take a break from this slide deck and just go and show you. There's us. I love that picture of us. It's so official. Does anybody else
Dropping
love
some
that picture
gems.
of us?
It's a cool picture.
I'm going to show you guys an actual customer journey, how we map customer journeys. And so this company is an awning manufacturer. Just like the Matrix, I can tell just from looking at this, I could tell they're an awning manufacturer just by the direction of the blue squares. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. And so this customer journey right here represents this company. So just so you guys know that this is a real company that we're talking about here. They're an awning manufacturer in Edison, New Jersey, and we've been working with them for probably 4 to 5 years now. And they are the manufacturers, the salespeople, and the installers of these products that you see here. And they have about a sales team of maybe 8 people. And so reasonable small business. And so this is their customer journey entry point. It's a website, it's mobile responsive, it is SEO friendly, it ranks in top one on the first page in dozens and dozens of different search queries. And so making sure that that entrance point is really clear, and making sure that the target audiences are really, really clear. And so if I'm a restaurant owner, I can find information about that. If I'm a homeowner, I might find information over here. But whatever the case is, things are really, really easy. And there's channeling people in. And what do we want them to do? We want them to schedule a free estimate. And if I was to call this phone number, you would experience more of the customer journey. You would experience a professional inbound call system that tracks the lead properly and funnels them into their CRM, the same place that this contact form would funnel them into the CRM. And so every little step of the customer journey so far is being guided. And so I want to show you guys that sort of in a theoretical way. So
What a cool illustration, Pete.
you like it?
Yeah, I mean I have mine, and when you showed me this the first time, you were like, "Hey, hey, you want to see something?" And I
Right.
was like, "Yeah." And this was the formation when you were doing my text bot.
Right.
So, editing the responses, I didn't want to sound so robotic, so we were
Right.
able to kind of change a lot of that. And
Right.
so this is so surreal. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So check it out. This is what we're talking about. When a lead comes into the website, all right, well, they could go, the website doesn't talk back to them, so they need to place a call, right? Or they can fill out the contact form, or they could book on a salesperson's calendar, or they can have live chat. And so some of these things are still are works in progress. But this is what I want to show you guys. So if they pick up the phone, well, what if the client inbound calls, I should really inbound call. Well, sometimes we're going to pick up the phone. Sometimes the client is going to have to leave a voicemail because it's after hours, maybe, or something like that. Well, coming up to here, you'll get an email about this voicemail. But when we call the person back, we realize that that's the black hole that they fall into. We're calling the customer back, we're leaving a voicemail, and then there's no system of looping back. And so this is a pain point that we're solving, and we're solving it elegantly. But what's the main goal? The main goal, this is where things need to be really clear. The main goal is that we need to get that discovery meeting going, right? No matter what we're trying to do, all we're trying to do is get somebody on the phone and qualify them. And that's why this stuff becomes complex in our heads. And that's why, we're a rat's nest sometimes, because all we want is this one outcome. But the modern world has said, well, somebody can call you, somebody can meet you at an event, somebody can meet you on LinkedIn, somebody can meet you on, there's all these different channels that we're meeting people, and we don't have a good way, we don't have a good process, and we don't have good technology to channel them into that all important phone call where we can then just qualify them and close them out or refer them or put them on the calendar to follow up. And so this is an example of one of the things that's just revolutionizing every business that we're working on, is just really sitting here and mapping this out for every step of what you need to close. And so I'm not going to go into every square here, but up here is where for example, somebody makes a buying decision. And so a buying decision here, moving into this step, and just going down all the way through the installation of this awning, checking in at the job, doing the work, collecting final payment, and then checking out of the job and sending a hey, how did we do kind of email at the end of the process. And so I think you could see, it becomes self-evident that this is what real businesses, what businesses can really benefit from, is mapping out these individual steps. Is there anybody that has any questions about any of this stuff? Anybody want me to dive into that anymore?
Yeah,
Anthony.
and as we're waiting for questions to come in,
Mhm.
that what you just shared right now is some major, major time saving, solutions.
Right,
If you notice there, after every model, there was a touch point, even from after. I feel like you do a lot of work to get the client, and then you're doing more work to retain, close, finish the sale and products or service you're providing, and then
right.
the experience and beyond. And so, yeah, that was definitely. So I'm excited to see if we have any questions from the audience.
Yeah, just drop any questions in. But in the meantime, we spoke about this all important moment. I mentioned this out loud earlier, is this time between. So you have this discovery meeting, right? And let's imagine that discovery meeting's on the phone, but you really like to do business in person. And so you have this preliminary discovery meeting, and then you might have this really green item, which is the on-site estimate that, hey, we're going to meet together. Can I come to your place of business, or can I come to your home and work out the details with you? And the time there, like, this could happen on a Monday. This might happen the following Tuesday. This might be 7 days later, 9 days later. Think about all of the stuff that can happen between day one here and day nine walking in the door of your prospect. And so that could be a real challenge for us. We want to keep the clients that we see being effective at this are keeping that buying enthusiasm moving from this time all the way to this time. And I'm going to show you guys how this client is keeping that buying enthusiasm. And so, Anthony, How many Google appointment confirmations do you get every day? Those simple Google
Google
confirmation emails.
confirmations, uh, mm, from the ones that I got used Google my calendar,
Yeah, the
maybe
calendar
two.
appointment confirmation.
Not
Any,
as many as I want, you
I'm
know.
saying from other people, from one-to-ones, just anybody that we're all setting a lot
Um,
of meetings, right? And we're getting
very
the,
very rare. I use my calendar for everything, but not the Google invite.
but you're on the receiving end of somebody saying, I'm going to meet, I'm going to send you a confirmation, I'm going to send you this, I'm going to send you. So our inboxes are filling with cluttered, just
Right.
nonsense, right? Like these little
Correct.
confirmations that, okay, I'm going to meet with you here. Like every one-to-one, every meeting that we're having is another nonsense email that's just coming in the door. Um,
True.
so I'm going to show you guys our answer to that. So imagine, again, we're here, the client has been pre-qualified and they want to move to step 2 of the sales process. How this client is setting themselves apart is with this really beautiful email that I'm really proud of helping design. Right here is, instead of getting a boring Google confirmation, Justin, I see your question. I'll get right back to that. Instead of getting a boring Google confirmation that, hey, we're going to come meet with you Tuesday at 10 p.m., whatever, instead, keep that buying enthusiasm going. Look at this email. This is their Google confirmation. This is just a friendly reminder about your on-site estimate at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Your sales associate will be Ed Callahan. So pre-introducing who the salesperson is, right? What do we call that? That's the little bit of rapport building, wouldn't you say? So
Yeah.
before we're even walking in the door, we're rapport building. And then look at this. Get ahead of the game, explore fabrics, right? Like educating the client on the product ahead of time before you even walked in the door. And we know that you're infinitely qualified to talk about credit repair. You're going to drop a ton of education bombs on them, but why not educate them the moment that they get book the appointment? Introduce links to their fabric. So if there's choices that are in your sales process, Mr. Client, now that I'm here, you want to take the product, but do you want choice A, B, or C? We can minimize the time during the sales process by getting ahead of the game and asking questions like, here's this fabric, here's that fabric. Why don't you start looking? And then a ton of other stuff. Your Majestic Awning sales associate will arrive on time and will require access to the desired awning location. They will take time to make detailed measurements, etc. Next, Ed, notice how customized that is. Next, Ed will discuss. And so the magic of this email is that it was generated automatically. This was not manually composed and with these little elements filled in. Just by clicking a single button, this recipient arena got this beautiful experience, not to mention a video that they could watch and a headshot of the salesperson with that person's information right here. And so just by reaching in and having a few keystrokes, all of this sales enthusiasm and customer experience was presented along with a text message and other things that I'm not showing you guys right now. But that's what I'm talking about, what we call high
Super
value customer touch points. What were you going to say, Anthony?
super powerful.
Yeah, and that's just one little moment of the customer journey. That's just the one moment of client discovery, moving to the second part of the sales process. Let's hit them up with a high value email. Let's hit them up with a high value text message. Let's, when they just book on your contact form, make sure that's a high value communication right there. Could you go into more detail about the who, what, where, and why, and clarity, target market positions? Cool. Yeah, actually, I can. So if anybody else has any questions, drop them in. But I want to give you guys an example. Uh, Here is a client from the Dallas area that we're working with, and the website's pretty good. Video, our services, and it's just taking a little while to load. She has her own event coming up here. And so one way that this client really gets down to business is by just showcasing female, mostly female entrepreneurs, shows, videos on couples, videos on relationships, videos on female entrepreneurship. And so she really knows exactly who she's going after. She's not selling video to everybody. She's selling video and video marketing services to specific groups of people. This is my client on the left, Sandra. And so that's one way that she's doing it. But then another way is that when people are going to buy her products, when a person expresses interest in her products, zandratv.segwick2.com/pack. So when somebody's interested in a given product, rather than having just a vocal conversation because nothing is written down, we have landing pages for nearly all of her products that are just ready to go. And so this is one of her products called the BizTizement Business Directory. And it's very, very clear because it's got some good artwork. It has a video describing.
Hi there, this is Zandra Evans, founder and CEO of Zandra TV Network here in Dallas, Texas.
And so a good video where she goes into detail. The payment terms are very, very clear. Down here, a little bit further description that it includes this, where it's going to be, where the video is going to be distributed, about a little bit about the process. And so, and then over here, terms and conditions. And so this client is making things abundantly clear by basically turning complex video marketing services into checkoutable, e-commerce types of checkout. And so that's one thing that I always think about, and maybe more for some industries than others. But Anthony, for Fresh Start Advancement, how do we take credit card, consulting, credit repair, and turn it into turnkey processes where somebody, without having to bother you at 2 a.m, can land on a page, receive all of the information that they need to make a buying decision, and then either buy or go to some sort of backup plan. And we don't have to answer that right now, but I'm trying to make the point for Justin that that's what we're looking for. So not only is this product really documented, but here's another example of a product that's really highly documented. So here is what she calls the incubator package, where everything that the incubator includes right here, 12-month incubator, show development, season shoot prep, season shoot, all of that stuff is just abundantly clear. And it even has other link click-throughs to the example products where people can see more about the other products. And so does that answer your question, Justin? Let me know if you have a follow-up. Anthony, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is I learn every time I speak with you, so I'm just ready to get rocking and rolling, and just take it up to another level.
So yeah, so guys, thank you. I want to be respectful of your time. We probably only have a couple more minutes together here, but I want to thank all of us. I see Dr. Dawn Niles and Justin and Katrina. I see Bibiana, Kevin, and a bunch more people. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this time today. Anthony, are you ready to let people know about what you're offering in terms of follow up and how you want people to engage with you after this?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very excited to just continue to take advantage of the tech spot, some of the solutions, trust in the system and allow the system to work. And I'm just really excited to get going.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And I agree, and I'm really excited to get going with you as well. You and I have a long future ahead of us. We're going to keep doing marketing. We're going to keep trying to pull the right levers and adjust how we're pulling those levers. I have an offer that I want to offer you guys. It was in here somewhere. I think I lost it. Well, so I talked about this customer journey over here. And so let me just kill that. So customer journey expert for anybody on this call, because I know it's a lot of friends of yours, colleagues of yours. I really want to sit down with you guys and do a discovery call with everybody. And so I would love to have you guys drop your emails into the chat. Anthony, if you can maybe reach out to some of these folks. And what I'm offering for Anthony's friends and Anthony's friends alone and colleagues of Anthony here in Fresh Start Advancement is I want to do this for you guys. I want to sit for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I want to go through your customer journey and just have a brainstorming session with you guys. I don't have a official title for this product or service, but have a brainstorming session where we could just bat back and forth your entire process, what you're doing from marketing to sales, from sales to onboarding, onboarding to loyalty and all that. And we can map it out and we can really give you guys a strong idea about how I would and our team would say, hey, let's make this tweak here. Let's try this here. Let's do this right there. And really just map it out so that you guys can have a guide. You guys can have a vision. You guys will be able to sit back and you'll say, wow, we now have a map of what our future dream business really needs to be. And that's what this session will deliver you guys. We could record it. We'll take notes. We'll drag things around. 90 minutes to 2 hours, I think, will leave you guys with a ton of amazing information. And normally we do that for $2,500. That's a $2,500 value. But for friends of Anthony, and because we just want everybody in our circle to be so successful, I wanted to give it to you guys. Anybody on this call, $500, 2 hour session, mapping out the entire customer journey. Anthony, do you think that's fair?
Yeah, no, I think it's fair and valuable of the time, and the way that you're able to kind of just put it all and package it together is definitely worth every second.
Yeah, thank you for that, Anthony. And so anybody who's just interested in that, drop your email into the chat, drop your LinkedIn into the chat. We'll get together. It could be a weekend, it could be in the evening, whenever it is. If you guys are local, I'm here in Jersey City. I want to connect with you guys. I want to help build a tribe, help build a family. Normal $2,500, $500 to folks on this call. Yeah, and so Anthony, I just can't think of a better way to just start off the 2023 having your business in order, right? Like this is, I know it's Thanksgiving, but it's the new year, right? We should have our 2023 plans in order, right?
Yeah, no, look, I've been thinking about 2023 probably since October. Again, I want to work on my business, not so much more in. I think for me, I've been more in this role since 2019, kind of full time. And so going into that 3 year, I'm going into year four. Now it's put up or shut up. I want to save time, I want to save money, I want to save my energy, and I want to cut the fat. So for anybody that is a self-employed or they're aspiring, I want to also add a complimentary call, as a liaison for Pete, focusing on what he's going to provide. But let's have a discovery call in regards to your business credit and your strategies and your goals. And that could be a great starting point to kind of filter where you want to go. So when you have your discovery session with Pete, you guys have a good starting point.
That's awesome. I mean, I love working together with you, Anthony, because you're getting people's financial house in order, and I'm helping them steer some of that savings into productive avenues where it's not a leaky bucket use of money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just whenever every time I do a budget plan with my clients, and I look into like their meals and certain expenses from luxuries and necessities, and they always say, "Well, wow, it looks like I can save all that, but I don't know where my money is going." And so if you're thinking about that with your money, imagine where your time. So I'm tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
That's awesome, Anthony. And I'll just give anybody like one last chance to just drop any information into the chat. We really want to meet with you guys. I want to thank Anthony so much. We're going to let you guys go. But thank you guys for being here. Bibiana, thank you. Can't wait to connect with all of you guys, and just hope that 2023 is going to be great for everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Anthony, thank you so much for letting us do this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everybody attending. Pete, thank you so much. It was very generous of you. And I'm just a phone call or a message away. And I wish everybody have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys. Bye.